Ever wondered what really happens when you completely disappear from someone's life? Not pulling back, not replying slower. I mean gone. No texts, no calls, no presence. They thought you'd always be there, until one day you're not. And that's when their real emotions start. In a world where people treat you like a backup plan instead of a priority, disappearing isn't drama. It's discipline. It's self-respect. Welcome to Stoic Reflection. In this video, we're not talking about childish no-contact games. We're breaking down the 10 psychological stages someone goes through when you truly walk away and never look back. If you've ever been breadcrumbed, disrespected, or treated like an option, this is your blueprint. By the end, you'll see why disappearing with calm, stoic strength is one of the most attractive, powerful moves you can make as a man. And stage 10? It has nothing to do with them and everything to do with the man you become. If you're ready to step out of the role of option and into the role of a grounded, emotionally independent man, type in the comments, "I'm done being an option." Let's break it down. First, the sting of rejection. This is the first cut, and they never see it coming. In their mind, you were permanent. You were the one who texted first, the one who checked in, the one who tried to fix things, forgave too fast, and stayed too long. You weren't just a person, you were their emotional safety net, until you weren't. When you disappear without a speech, without begging, without a dramatic goodbye, it hits them in a way they didn't expect. It's the sting of rejection, but a kind they can't control, argue with, or manipulate. You've heard the quote, "You never know what you have until it's gone." Most people think it's just a nice line on a quote page. They don't expect to live it. When you finally walk away, they don't just lose your presence, they lose the role you played in their life. Your attention, your validation, your emotional support, your steady presence when they were bored, lonely, or insecure. That's why it cuts so deep, because underneath all of it, the message is simple. I don't have control over them anymore. When someone thinks you'll tolerate anything, you stop being a person and become a backup plan. But the moment you disappear, you rip away that safety net. Suddenly, they're not standing on solid ground. They're free-falling, and that sting of rejection, that's the beginning of their lesson and the beginning of your liberation. Second, the void. They didn't expect rejection shocks them. The void breaks them. At first, they'll act unbothered. If they leave, I'll just move on. I'll find someone else. That's what their ego says. Reality says something else. They wake up and scroll, and your name isn't there. No good morning, no check-in, no, "Did you get home safe?" They go through their day and reach for the comfort of your presence, and it's gone. That's when the emptiness shows up. Because you weren't just another chat. You brought warmth, grounding, depth. You were the one who actually listened, the one who understood, the one who made them feel seen. They didn't realize how much of their emotional world was quietly held together by your energy. Now, without you, conversations feel shallow. The attention they get from others feels cheap. The options they thought they had don't hit the same. So they try to distract themselves. Talk to someone new. Go out more. Scroll endlessly. But distraction can't replace connection. The paradox is brutal. They didn't value you when they had you, but they feel your absence in every little moment now that you're gone. That's the void. And if you stay gone, it only grows. Third, obsession disguised as curiosity. Rejection hurts. The void empties them. Obsession keeps them up at night. Once they realize you're really gone, their mind does what human minds always do when they lose access to something powerful. It starts looping. The questions hit. Where are you? Who are you with? Have you moved on? Do you even think about them anymore? You used to be predictable. They knew your patterns, your rhythm, your responses. They knew they could text you and you'd come back. But power shifts the moment you stop being predictable. Now, you're a mystery. In the age of social media, that mystery becomes torture. They check your Instagram, refresh your WhatsApp, stalk your status, your last seen, your likes, your comments. And the most powerful move you make: you don't perform, you don't post for attention, you don't throw subliminal quotes, you don't melt down online. You are calm, invisible. Your silence forces their mind to fill in the blanks. They start imagining you, laughing with someone new, looking healthier, calmer, happier, finally giving your energy to someone who actually appreciates it. That's when curiosity stops being casual and turns into obsession. The less they know about you, the more they think about you. That's why mystery is magnetic, especially to someone who thought you'd always be available. Fourth, when obsession turns inward. Obsession can only circle around you for so long before it starts turning back on them. At some point, the questions stop being, "Where are you?" and become, "What did I do?" They start replaying everything. The times they ignored your messages, the times they downplayed your feelings, the times they made you feel too much for wanting basic effort and respect. And here's the key. There's no fight to distract them, no drama to blame on you, no big argument where they can say, "See, they were crazy." Just silence and their own behavior. They can't hide behind, "They're overreacting, they're too sensitive, they're clingy." Instead, the inner dialogue becomes, "Was I too cold? Did I take them for granted? Did I treat someone real like a backup?" This stage is quiet but brutal, because deep down, they start to recognize how rare you actually were. Someone who checked in, someone who tried, someone who showed up emotionally. And now that person is gone, not because they lost interest, but because you finally respected yourself enough to walk away. That's a hard truth to face, especially alone. And while they're stuck in replay mode, something else is changing quietly. You're starting to realize you don't miss them as much as you thought. You miss the version of yourself that hoped they'd be different. 5. The urge to chase. What they lost, reflection, eventually creates fear. Fear creates movement. Once they see their own role in losing you, ego, desire, and panic combine into one thought: I need to get them back. This is where the roles reverse. You used to be the one initiating. Now they're the one reaching out. "Hey, how have you been? You crossed my mind today. I'm sorry for how things ended. I miss our conversations." They like old posts, react to old stories, send late-night messages, pop up out of nowhere after weeks or months of silence. This isn't random, it's not coincidence. This is the urge to chase something they never thought they'd lose. Psychologically, people chase what they feel slipping out of their control. And here's where your new identity is tested. In the past, you would have jumped on that first message. You would have felt relief. They still care. Now you see it differently. You don't chase breadcrumbs. You don't reward bare minimum effort. You don't shrink back into the version of yourself that begged to be chosen. Silence becomes your boundary. They feel the urge to chase. You feel your self-respect rising. That's the difference between the old you and the man you're becoming. If you're still watching this, it's not by accident. It means some part of you already knows you are giving more than you are getting. You are handing out loyalty in places that didn't even offer you basic respect. You're not just here to understand what they feel. You're here because you're done living as the version of yourself who tolerated this. Remember that as we go deeper. 6. The fake freedom versus real regret. When you first disappeared, they might have felt a fake kind of relief. No more deep talks. No more accountability. No more pressure to show up. They confuse your emotional depth with emotional burden. So they run back to what feels easy. Shallow conversations, surface-level attention, people who never ask for growth. For a moment, it feels good, light, simple. But freedom without depth always turns into emptiness. Soon, regret slips in quietly. Every new conversation feels hollow. Every fun distraction feels temporary. Every new person they talk to lacks the weight, safety, and understanding you gave them for free. That's when the realization hits. You weren't too much. You were the only real thing they had. Relief fades. Regret doesn't. And the longer you stay gone, the heavier that regret becomes. 7th, when ego starts playing games. When honest effort doesn't pull you back, ego reaches for its favorite weapon, games. They don't want to heal, they want a reaction. So the show begins. They start posting like they're living their best life. Stories with mysterious nights out. Pictures with someone new. Flirty captions. Quotes about healing, moving on, and knowing your worth. On the surface, it looks like growth. Underneath, it's bait. Every "look how happy I am" post is really just, "please still be watching me." They're trying to pull you back into the emotional ring, make you jealous, make you chase, make you prove you still care, but you're not that man anymore. A man stuck in his emotions reacts. A stoic man observes and stays still. You're not counting their stories. You're not decoding every caption. You're not living your life based on their updates. Their game falls flat because you're not playing. And when their attempts to trigger you get nothing, no reaction, no message, no drama, it doesn't just bruise their ego. It shatters the identity they built as someone who could always pull you back whenever they wanted. That realization is brutal, but it's earned. 8. The crushing weight of your silence. Silence is not empty. It's full of everything they don't want to face. When you stop responding, when you don't react to their stories, when you ignore their bait, the silence gets loud. They start remembering all the times you waited hours or days for a reply, all the times they left you on read, all the times they chose ego over effort and expected you to accept it. Now, they'd do anything just to see your name pop up again. We're used to instant access to people, instant messages, instant replies, instant validation. So when someone truly goes quiet, no long paragraphs, no emotional explosions, no "let me explain why I'm leaving" speech, it shakes people. Your silence forces them into a conversation with themselves, and that is the one conversation they can't mute, block, or avoid. You don't chase closure. You don't send a final essay. You don't beg them to understand. Your absence is the closure. And the longer you hold that line, the more the weight of it settles on them. 9th, the fear that you're really gone. Silence can be ignored for a few days, maybe a few weeks. But if you stay away long enough, silence always grows into fear, not mild concern. Real fear. The fear that you're never coming back, they're never getting another chance. Someone else is now experiencing the version of you they didn't appreciate. They start picturing you with someone better, being respected the way you always deserved, laughing, healed, uninterested in their existence. That thought wrecks them. Suddenly, pride doesn't matter. Looking unbothered doesn't matter. Games don't matter. They send long paragraphs. They apologize for things they never owned before. They might even try to see you in person, desperate to prove they've changed. But here's the truth. Their fear is about losing access to your energy. Your growth is about never needing their access again. By the time they feel real fear, you're not the same person who once begged to be chosen. You've shifted from attachment to awareness, from chasing to observing, from "I need them" to "I need myself to stay solid." That's the power of truly disappearing, not to punish them, but to rebuild you. 10. The birth of your emotional independence. This final stage isn't about what they feel. It's about who you become. When you disappear, you're not just walking away from them, you're walking toward yourself. You start to realize you don't need someone to validate your worth. You don't have to prove your value to anyone. You're allowed to walk away from disrespect without a speech. Your presence, your attention, your love. None of it is cheap. It's not something you throw at people who don't value it. You stop seeing yourself as someone begging to be chosen, and start seeing yourself as someone who chooses where his energy goes. That's emotional independence. The Stoics taught that your peace is your responsibility. You're not disappearing to make them suffer. You're disappearing because you refuse to keep suffering for them. They can feel that shift. They sense that you don't orbit them emotionally anymore. You're calmer, more grounded. You're building a life where their presence or their absence does not define your peace. And ironically, that's when you become the most magnetic, not just to them, but to everyone around you. Because nothing is more attractive than a person who is at peace with themselves. They're stuck in the same old patterns. You've leveled up. You're no longer chasing attachment. You're choosing alignment. Don't go back to the version of you that tolerated being treated like an option. Don't hand them the power you just reclaimed. You've outgrown the situation. You've outgrown the dynamic. You've outgrown the old you. This is Stoic Reflection. And your greatest power is not in making them pay. It's in finally refusing to pay with your self-respect. You didn't lose them, you found yourself, and that's the only person you were never supposed to abandon.